Whatsoever you would want to do, either now or in the future, courage has an important role to play. Either you want to lose weight, you want to read more books, you want to memorize the Quran, you want to learn more languages, you want to learn the Arabic language, you want to achieve some sort of goals in the future or presently, courage has an important role to play. And courage, as said by Mark Twain, it is not the lack of fear or the absence of fear. It is the mastery of fear and the control of fear. Quite a lot of books on self mastery and discipline talked about courage and the importance of courage in our day in, day out goals that we set for ourselves. And one of the things that hold more people from achieving their goals is the lack of courage. And if you look at this, one of the books which I've read, or one of the authors who gives me a lot of inspiration through his works, is the man called Brian Tracy. And he has written a lot of books on concerning courage and even self-discipline. One of these books is Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. In this book, he mentioned the types of courage that will actually blow you open, blow your mind open to success. And one of these types of courage, which has mentioned, is dream big dreams. Being able to dream big is one of the courage that a lot of people are lacking. You will look at it like, how is dreaming big a big deal? It is a big deal because a lot of us actually limit ourselves to the dreams which we dream. We do not aspire a lot because we have the fear. We don't have the courage to even dream big dreams. We don't have the courage to unlimit ourselves in our thinking and our dreams. Rather, we limit ourselves because we are so fearful and we are so scared that if we set some sorts of goals, we may not be able to achieve them. That is lack of goals. So from this moment, it is important for us to start setting big dreams. And as you set them, you will see yourself getting close to those dreams. Another type of courage that he talked about in this book is that you should make a commitment. Make a commitment. If you have a big dream, you already have a big dream, you need to commit yourself fully to it, knowing that if you do not achieve this dream, it will have its negative side on you. You are going to commit yourself, giving it all yourself, submitting yourself to this dream until it is totally achieved. Another type of courage that he talked about is move out of your comfort zone. It takes a lot of courage for anyone to be able to move out of his comfort zone. What is comfort zone? Comfort zone is that type of job which you are already comfortable with. You don't want to leave it because you are afraid. You are afraid of what you may meet when you leave your job. That place you live, the relationship you have kept that's kept on harming you or hurting you, but you are still afraid that if you should leave this relationship, this place, or this zone, you may meet what and the unexpected, you may meet a worse situation. You must have the courage to be able to leave your comfort zone, to move out and explore. Another type of courage that he talked about is for you to take a stand. You have yourself, you know your belief, you should be courageous enough to let people know what you believe in and be able not to change your perspective of life just because you are afraid to be portrayed as a bad person or whatever. Another type of courage that he talked about is risk failure. A lot of us are afraid even because we may have failed sometimes, and other we feel like, oh, if I should continue with this failure, what will it take me to? Sometimes you are failing to succeed. So having faced some forms of failure in the past do not determine the actions you should take. So you continue even while you are failing. So it takes a lot of courage to continue what you are doing, even while you see that you are failing. As long as you know that what you are doing is not the wrong thing, the temporary failure should not deter you from continuity. Another type of courage that he has talked about is face your fears. It takes a lot of courage for one to be able to face his fears. You have a lot of things that you are afraid of, you never tried. At this moment, take a book and write those things down that you wish you could do, but you've been held back by your fears. You don't have the courage to face them. From now onward, write them down and start facing them even while you are afraid. You see that the way as you face them, natural death will overcome these fears. Another type of courage that is there is the practice zero-based thinking. Zero-based thinking is just like to talk about leaving your comfort zone. It's for you to think what are those things that you've been doing for long, and if you had another time to do them over, you will not do them again. Stop those things right away and move on to doing a different thing, as this will help in blowing you up to more opportunities. Another type of courage that he mentioned is admit your mistakes. The ability to admit your mistakes publicly, secretly, even to your own self, demands or requires courage. It takes a lot of courage for one to be able to admit his mistakes, have been making mistakes. Short, a lot of us cannot even admit their mistakes to themselves. For you to be able to admit to be say, I actually made mistakes in this aspect of my life. From now onward, I will be able to make corrections. Some people prefer to dwell in that mistakes while they continue to struggle to overcome the failures which that mistake is bringing to them. Another type of courage that he talked about is be willing to make mistakes. As we move on, just as we said concerning the risk failure, as you move on in life, you make a lot of mistakes. These mistakes are not should not deter you from continuing. Rather, they should be stepping stones for you for better future. Another type of courage is for you to accept complete responsibility. What is responsibility? Responsibility simply means the ability to respond. Responsibility. So responsibility. For you to be able to become courageous, you need to be someone who is responsibility, who is able to take responsibility for his actions and inactions. So if you're able to take responsibilities for your failures, your successes, you will see that life will become easy for you and you will have this internal happiness and fulfillment. Another type of courage is be patient. The patience is very important. You see that in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned at the places why a Muslim should be patient and why we're going to face difficulties. You should also continue to remain patient because this patience is what will take you ahead. There is no goal, there is no new achievement that would not come with his overheads and his difficulties. So, being patient is what is required from you, and it takes a lot of courage for one to be patient. The last type of courage is persist longer. A lot of us, just a little time to their success, they quit because maybe they have faced a lot of failures in the past and they do not know when the things will turn around to become better. They just quit, not knowing that if they had persisted a longer time, they would have achieved that long-term goal which they set for themselves. So sometimes it needs us to be courageous in order to be able to persist longer. So it is important for us to be courageous because courage is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used to define even the believers. They are people who are courageous. They don't have the fear of the unbelievers. They always stand with the truth. So if you are courageous and you give in all you have, you see that success will not be far away from you. Thank you. Until another time. Assalamu alaikum